Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the day of the video down. How's it going today? Today is a Tuesday, and it marks the first day of, well, it's not the first day of the year because technically January and whatever, but like today was like the first time I drove to work with headlights on and drove back with headlights on. To be fair, I only had them on the way there because it was misty. But it's been really foggy actually down here for some reason. The past couple of days we've had like horrendous fog, to the point where we were driving back from shopping yesterday and it's like fucking soup. You can just spoon it up and eat it. What's been going on today so far? Today I got in a fight with my computer at work. I finished a big section of what I'm doing. I've done like all of the mandatory stuff, like we have like validators and we have different levels of validation based on settings, I guess. So if you were to have just the mandatory like bog standard validation, I've now refactored all of that so it all works in like a new nice fancy way where it can all be like dynamically pulled in and out from inversion of control and all that kind of crap. It's quite cool. I like it. Loads of code reuse, all that good stuff. It's good, all unit tested as well. Finished that section, and before I was starting the next section I was going to do a pull request and merge myself back into the dev branch so that someone can look through it, so I don't just literally slam them with well, I already am slamming them with a fuckload of code, but so I don't slam them with like 3 times as much code. And that, like, Git did not like that at all. It was pissed, to say the very least. So I was working on it, and like I tried to rebase, I tried to merge, it just kept crashing, kept failing halfway through, to the point where it kind of failed and then wanted me to do a merge. I merged it, and then it wouldn't move on past that point. So I just, fuck it, gutted it, like deleted everything, re-downloaded the repo, and then Eclipse was like, "Nuh-uh, buddy." Eclipse was pissed off, and it literally took me like 2 hours to get everything running again, because like, it just refused to pull in Maven projects, and such a ball ache. But managed to get around that, got that in. I'm doing a build overnight, and then I'll do a pull request tomorrow, assuming I can see my test results still. But yes, and then it's just a case of moving on onto the what's my doohick? Onto the next point, the full validation section, which is going to be a lot less clean. I was trying to figure out a good strategy, because it's not quite split as nicely as the first part. The first part is like, oh, if it's this type, do this kind of validation. If it's this type, do this. No, it's like, if it's this, then save this piece of information, do this, 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 this. Also use a parent class, and then also an array of things. It's going to be... It needs a slightly tweaked method in order to avoid having like some chains that are huge. But yes, so there is that. Otherwise, Graham is fine, asleep, pissed off that I'm talking so loud near her. Lunchtime, I was moving on away from... What was I moving away from? I was moving off of the compilation leg of my program, and I'm moving on to the testing leg. Process of doing that, I'm like going through getting all of the compilation results and all that kind of stuff, and just passing on all the ones that I want, basically. And I'm going through that. It's kind of annoying because I'm setting up a new project and I'm like passing things through to the controllers, so I'm hooking all that up. But it's irritating because it keeps being like, oh, can't reference this because I haven't got an internet connection to check NuGet. Like, you don't need to check NuGet, it's right fucking there. So it needs like to reference it. Bizarrely, it checks like NuGet. Even if it's a local one, you don't seem to be able to run that thing online, in offline mode. It's quite weird. So I have to keep like setting up my phone to hotspot it, and then bam, there we go, do it. Fucking irritating. And then drove home, and I've just sorted out my daily vlog and stoof. And today we have a relatively busy night planned. Laura is on her way home, but she got like on a late bus, but she says traffic is good, so she's going to be pretty quick. I'm going to make my sandwiches now, and then we're going to have stir fry later. It's literally just a case of chopping up some chicken and then frying it in a wok. So it's not going to take long at all, which is good because we wanted something like small and light, because tonight at about 8 o'clock we are going to the gym to go do our workout, because we're thinking we're going to go Tuesday evening and Friday like early evening, and then Sundays is our plan. based on how busy it is, based on like other things that we're doing. Obviously every other Tuesday, every now and again I have like meetups, so I don't go, so we'd have to do it on Wednesday or we'd move it around. But yeah, that's our general gist. We're going to try it at this time to see if it's a little bit quieter than it is at 6 o'clock, because 6 o'clock is like peak time for them. So yeah. Also, we want to try and pick up, well, we need to pick up either today or tomorrow. Laura's got 2 parcels going. One's already there at the collection point, the other one goes tomorrow, but the collection point is right next to Pets at Home, which sells the house that we need to buy Graham. So I want to go to Pets at Home and get Graham's house today, but it might make more sense to do it tomorrow. Depends how much time we've got, depends how busy we are. Don't know why that light's on, it's just wasting electricity. But yes, I'm going to make my sandwiches and wait for my daily vlog to go live, and then I can shut this down and move. I was thinking, actually, of a way. It's kind of awkward migrating between computers, because I essentially, in order to migrate the code that I'm working on between computers, I commit it to my version control and then pull it back down again, which means that it needs to pass a build, and it's not trivial doing that kind of stuff, like committing it up and then pushing it, because then it has to do builds, has to check all the tests and all this kind of stuff. So I was trying to think of like a better way of being able to migrate to Atlas, and whether it would be a good idea to try and figure out like some kind of docking solution for my Surface, so that essentially I can bring it in, whack it into dock, and then it will like load up onto the monitors, and then I can use this keyboard instead and figure out some way of doing that. I was contemplating with that idea, but then I thought it might be a bit too much of a ball ache, like rewiring Atlas all the time and basically turning my Surface into a portable Atlas. Because I find that I don't, because I work on the Surface all the time because I like working on the Surface, it's very good at what it does, but also because it's awkward. Like if I were to transfer it over to Atlas, I'd have to transfer it back at the end of the night, and that's like just a pain in the arse because I don't have internet at work. I have to remember to do that every time. So, and also the legwork of having to do it anyway is annoying, especially if I'm like midway through something. But yes, I thought that might be a good idea, but then is it really? Probably not. Especially the price of them fucking dock things from Microsoft. Christ, that's fucking ridiculous. But then, yeah, so I was trying to think of a way, basically, of doing it. I don't know what. Cool, let's get my sandwiches done. And time jump, ladies and gentlemen. I made my sandwiches and cooked dinner for Laura. We had stir fry. And that's about that, really. We then like chilled for a little bit before we headed on out to go to the gym. We also have repurchased Graham a little house. She was really excited about it earlier, but you can see a little self down there. She hasn't moved in just yet. I have a sneaking suspicion that she might move all her bedding up tonight. Otherwise though, we went to the gym and I think I'm getting better. Like I was like, did the treadmill first, and I could have gone longer, and I went like pretty quick, and I was like getting at a good distance. Likewise on the bikes, and then we just did like assorted weights and stuff. I think I just need to get some kind of, I kind of just go, oh let's just do that, oh let's just do that, let's just do that, rather than, I think I need to go in with like a, let's do this, like targeted stuff rather than just anything. But yes, otherwise I came home and I have just been going through my project, highlighting things that I think need doing, and then adding to like my to-do list. And I've hooked up now the main like body of the project and the testing leg, so it's now passing off, and then it doesn't do anything at the moment, but it like just hooks everything up, so if like builds failed, it kills those threads and all that kind of stuff. So that's all that sorted. Otherwise though, I'm going to head off to bed. It's quite early. It's 12:20. But I'm going to head off to bed because waking up this morning was pretty hard work. I said that, it wasn't actually like hard work, it was, I didn't hear my alarm go off. So, as soon as I'd woken up, I was like, that's fine. It was just I didn't hear my alarm go off. Right, what's going on tomorrow? Tomorrow we are working on my project a little bit more, as per usual. Settings and stuff. I'm in like the weeds at the beginning, which is why I'm like trying to just spend as much time on it as possible. But I'm in like the weeds of setting up the project, so I need to set up the settings, I need to set up like how the data flows in and all this kind of stuff, before I can get down to the juicy core of the project. Otherwise, thinking about investigating my validation chains at work, and what else? After work, I've said this before and nothing's come about it, but after work I intend to go play some snooker with my mate Josh. I haven't seen him for a bloody long time, because we keep organising snooker and then it like changes last minute. So hopefully we're both free. Hopefully. If not, then just a chill out evening, basically. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll catch you later.